Welcome back to episode 11. So, in our episode 11, we're looking at logic. Logic is the backbone of programming. Yes, it's the backbone of programming. If you make a little mistake with your logic, with your if statements, a lot of things can go wrong on your system, uh, on your website. If a little problem you have, if you don't use this if else statement very well, let's say you, instead of checking if something is true and you are checking if it is false, you can just have people that are not registered on your website accessing everything on your website. That's you can see how delicate it is, even though it's very simple. But a single mistake can expose your website. A simple mistake can expose everything on your website. So you have to be careful when you using it, even though it's simple to use. Okay. So let's come here. We're done with that. Let's create another folder. I'll call this we are doing if, right? Logic. Let me just call it logic. So here I'll call this index.html. This one of not folder. File. I'll call it scripts.js. I'll call this logic. So we've linked the two files together. We can confirm. Are they well linked? Let me copy the parts. I'll come here. Yes, the two files are linked. So I can do away with the alert. So now let's look at the logic. Logic. We will look at the if statement. Now use if to specify a block of code to be executed if a specified condition is true. Syntax of the if statement. If condition is true, run this block. Else, do other things. So let's quickly look at this now. For the if statement. If statement. Okay. So the way the if statement works is, it's going to check if a condition is true. If the condition is true, it's going to run everything that's inside that block, that if block. Okay. So this is how we write our if statement. It's a if you put what? Parentheses. Like this. So what you're going to have inside this if is what? A condition. So everything will always default to what? Boolean value. Remember, you can see all this thing we are beginning to link everything together. Remember some of the work we did. Let me check here, script here. Remember logical operator and all these things. You can see everything is always defaulting to true or false, which is Boolean. Boolean is always true or false. So you can see if something is greater than or less than. So we are going to be combining them with all these things. So the if statement, will always check if a condition is true or if a condition is false. So let's look at this now. I'll say const age equals, let's say 15. Then now you are trying to check who are those people that are eligible to vote in an election. So it's going to check if age is greater than or equal to 18, what is it going to tell you? In the console.log, you are, I don't want this, you are eligible to vote. So const age equals 15. If age is greater than or equal to 18, console.log, you are eligible to vote. Else, you are not eligible to vote. So this is a condition. You check this condition. Is this condition false or is this condition true? We can analyze it here. Age is 15, right? So it's going to say 15. Is 15 greater than or equal to 18? No. So this condition will be false. What is it going to do? It's going to output this message: you are not eligible to vote. So that's how the if and else statement works. It's going to check if the condition is true, run the statement here. Else, if it's not true, run this other statement. Okay, so let's check what we have here. Refresh. You can see you are not eligible to vote. Okay, I can even make it more interesting. You are, let me use this. Okay, you are years old and you are not, do this one too. You are, and you are eligible to vote. Okay, so refresh. You see, you are 15 years old and you are not eligible to vote. If I should change the condition, what do you think is going to happen? So now let me change the condition, the age rather. The age, let me change the age to 40. I'm going to refresh. You can see it has changed. You are 40 years old and eligible to vote. So that is how the if statement works. So this is what if and else statement. So we can also do other type of conditions. Let's look at scores. Let's say a student. I can see const score. Then I can say check if score. Where should I start from? I can say if score is greater than or equal to 70. I will say the console.log console.log. That will be what? Uh, uh, you got, I just put this there, score. I don't want to stress myself typing too much. I'll just put this there. A. Okay. If your score is greater than or equal to 70, you see what console.log you got. I can now say there's another one called else if. So we can have multiple conditions, not just if and else. So let's look at the multiple conditions. Else if. That's if this first condition is not met. So if this one is false, what is going to happen? It will go to the next line. So it's going to say if score is greater than or equal to 60, you got something B. Then we can keep on. We'll do another condition. Else if it is what 50, you got something C. We can still add more. Else if let's say the condition score is greater than or equal to, what's this? Is it 40? That's D. Are they still using E or maybe it's F? The rest should be F. I'll not say else you got F. It's as simple as that. So let's check. You got 85A. So let's change this score now to, let's change it to 20. What do you think it's going to give us? That should be F, right? Nancy, you got 20F. Let's play around with it. Let's give this 54. That should be C. You got 54C. Alright, so that's basically all about it. Okay. So let me quickly bring in something here. There's something called the switch statement. For the switch statement, we can, oh, before we do the switch statement, hold on. There's something I want to do. There's something I want to do. So you can look at how we are using console.log, console.log, console.log. This doesn't even look so good, right? As a programmer, you are meant to reduce repetitions. That's what programming is all about. Okay, so I think this is the first time I will be telling you about repetitions. So if you look at this now, we are repeating console.log too much. So instead of repeating console.log, 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 why don't you assign a variable to it? Okay, so I can say let grade equals nothing, empty string. Then I'll replace each and every. Now come here. I can replace this with this. I'll just say grade equals this. Simple as that. Or no, I can make it better. I can just say grade equals A, grade equals B, grade equals D, grade equals C. You can see how simple that is. So instead of me writing console.log, console.log, I can just say grade equals that. Then when I get it, I'll now say you got this grade. As can see how simple it is. So no repetition of console.log, console.log, and you can output everything at once. So you can see now, if I made a mistake, let's say instead of me typing got, I typed UGT. You get. So I'll have to go into this place, correct it, come here, correct it, come here, correct it, come here to correct it. So instead of me going through all those stress, I only have one source, one output source. So I can just come to this place, then replace correct it got. So instead of me correcting everything inside the console.log, I can just correct it here at once. And that's it. So refresh. I have the same. Let me move the bracket. You got 54C. Straightforward. Right? So let's do something with the switch statement. So, so this is how the switch statement is. I can say, depending on the grade you have here, I can use it to form something. Let me give this. I can call this results. Plus everything. So I'll replace everything here with results. I can say this is excellent. Come here, say results. And say this results very good. Results. Can say this results. Very satisfactory. This was failed. Okay. And for this one, it's a invalid grade. Okay. So that's how it is. For this switch statement, look at how you construct the switch statement. This is a switch statement itself. This is a switch statement. So inside the switch statement, we have different cases. We have case. Anything can be the case. So after you type the case, this case is a keyword. Okay. So you have case what? A. If I like, I can change this A to D. I can change it to E. You can just put anything there. But because of what we are doing, that's why I have A together. So then we say, well, result equals excellent. Then you break it. If you don't put this break, it's going to jump to case B. So this case A and case B are going to be working together. So for them not to mix together, you put a break. So for case A, that means any grade you have here, if the grade is A, it's going to check grade is it A? If it's A, result is excellent. If it picks B here, it's going to check is it case B? No, it's going to move to the next one. Is it case B? Yes, that means it is very good. That's why it's going to check each of the cases. You're going to check each of the case and anything you want to do inside you do. So yeah, I can then say console.log. I can say you got 7 and your result is this. So I'll refresh. You can say you got 54C and this one is what you got 54C and your result is good. So let me change it from 54C. Let me change it to 74. Maybe you got 74A and your result is excellent. Yeah. So you can still do everything with the if statement again. But I just want you to understand the switch statement also. It's just an opportunity for me to teach you the switch statement. Just play around with the switch statement, read more about it. Okay. It's also a very good one to make you know. Then the last one I'm going to be looking at is called the should it be the last one? Called the ternary operator. Ternary operator. So the ternary operator is a shortcut for if and else statement. Okay, so now you can remember this thing we did here. Age greater than or equals to 18. We can rewrite it. Okay? We can rewrite this thing. So let's look at how we can write this. So it's just a shortcut for if and else statement. So I can come here. Let me rewrite this. Okay. I want to rewrite this, then I'll delete it. So I'll just do something like this. Const is eligible. Okay. I've already done that. Okay. So it's eligible. That's what age. So let me comment this out. This is how it is. We have const this. So it's going this is the condition here. The condition is what? Age greater than or equals to 18. Okay. So it's not compulsory you put a bracket, but I just want to put the bracket so you don't get confused. I'll put bracket so you know that this is a condition. I don't want you to get confused. That's why I'm putting the bracket. It's not compulsory. Okay. Okay. So this is what we use the ternary operator, the question mark. You put your value here. Then this is what we call the ternary operator. Okay. You have your variable, the variable name equals the condition. Then this is a question mark. The question mark means that if this condition here, if it's true, it should execute what is there. So this one is what execute. It's going to execute the statement. Then this double colon means else don't execute. Okay, so that's it. Is eligible. If it's greater than 18 or equal to 18, that means the condition. It depends on the condition. If the condition is true, it's going to execute. If the condition is false, it's going to don't execute. So let's check our console log is eligible. And see execute. That's because the age here is what 40 and 40 is greater than or equal to 18. So that's how it works. So I only did this to explain it better. Then I'll take it out. Then comment. So you can see this now. If age is greater than or equal to 18, it should display you are 40 years old and eligible to vote. Double colon means else your age. I mean, what is that? You are 40 years old and okay, that's it. So let's do question check. That's it, you are 40 years old and eligible to vote. So ternary operator is a shortcut. Is a shortcut to if and else statement. Okay. There's another one. Let's quickly look at that also. So this is going to check if something is true or if it exists. If something is true or exists. Okay. So we are going to use this one, the double and the const. Um, So this is another another operator here. So this and is just going to do this is what it does. Let me put this in a parenthesis, not to confuse you. This is the condition here also. So you can see this one doesn't have any else. So it's going to say if age is greater than or equal to 18. If it's true, it's going to display this. You are it's as simple as that. So let's check it too first. You are 40 years old and eligible to vote. So that's how the operator works. So let's say we want to do less than, what is it going to display? It's going to just tell you that it is false. Okay? So if the condition is true, it's going to echo this. If it is false, it will return false. That's that about that.